Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pullze Check podcast, man. Guys, today we got another one, man. We're talking about World Series of Warzone. I'm with my man Rampage, with my man Krinkz, with my man JGod, and with my man Ebatez, bro. So, guys, boys, how we feeling today, man? World Series of Warzone is 6 days away. Yeah, 6 days away. Next Saturday.
6 days away. I mean, I'm feeling.
It was kind of weird on that part. Go ahead.
True.
I'm feeling fucking. I'm feeling crazy, just because I'm excited to see what teams are gonna come out and kind of show out. But
Damn.
you really tell me, there's only one team right now that's kind of dominating.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of weird. I woke up this morning and I was like, holy, it's actually next weekend is the World Series.
Yeah.
Like it just snuck up out of nowhere. Even though we've been talking about it for months, it's just nice to finally. It happened,
Right,
So it'll be a W.
Unreal.
Bro.
I mean, yeah, Ebatez, talk to me, man. How you feeling, Pubs?
I'm excited, man. I mean, like JGod said, there's been a lot of anticipation. I feel like, we did the 2 months of grinding watch parties. We've talked about storylines, rosters, everybody. We saw literally every team qualify. So the fact that the finals is here, everything we've been kind of leading up to is super exciting. So I can't wait to see everybody, meet all the supporters, everybody that goes to the event, all the players. It's about to be sick. I'm super, super excited for the event.
Yeah, so I mean, look, man, let's get into it. Kind of the topics of discussion today is just in general World Series of Warzone, but we're going to be breaking down everything from tournament format to event schedule to drop maps where teams are landing. So look, man, I know people have a lot of questions, and even on whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you are listening to this, we're kind of going to give you all the info that you guys need to get ready for next Saturday. So let's talk about how different this is this year to from last year. Right? Last year, we had a one-day event, 6 games only. That's it. This year, we have a 2-day event that could potentially be long or it could be short.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like we get the first full day is essentially what we had last year, but instead of payouts of money, they get payouts of points.
True. Okay.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So here, let's go over it. Let's go over JD if you want to bring up the format for the couple days, and then we'll go over schedule after that. But let's go over format, guys. For those of you who don't know, day 1 is pretty much, it's kind of like Apex. The players are going to be playing 6 games. 6 games of BR. And it's first, this comes first, 6 games of BR, right? Same threshold same multipliers that we have. And then a 7th and final game is a solo YOLO for $50,000. That is day 1.
That's fire. Wait, we're doing solo YOLO day 1?
Yeah.
Gas. That's gas.
Yep.
That's actually so sick.
I actually like that.
Yeah, and I like that it's at the end of the day.
Yep.
To kind of be that peak of everything that kind of went down.
So the first day,
awesome.
we're gonna have 7 games.
7 games, technically. Yep. 7 games.
Wow.
Yep. JD will be bringing it up right now. Give us 1 second.
By the way, that is so ridiculous that we had one day last year, 6 games, and that was it. That's so ridiculous to think about. Now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, that is insane. We literally I flew 10.5 hours to play 6 games. That is crazy. Just to get shit on? Like, are you kidding
you really
me?
put it like that. Oh man.
Yeah, that's actually insane. So this year, I mean, I know we've talked about the threshold a little bit, but I mean, this is a huge upgrade this year.
Yeah, I agree. Is it where we want it to be end goal? No. Like, we want 4 days.
Damn.
Right? Like, something huge. I mean, bro, I'm going to continue to say this. I'm going to glaze the fuck out of Apex. Apex has it right. Apex, they do it right. Somebody said in the chat they play 18 games. That's insane. Like day 1 and day 2. So, but we're at a good starting position. It's way better than where we were last year, and we can only try to improve it.
And the year before, and the year before that.
So things are only getting better. We can only keep pushing for things to get improved.
But they're getting
Remember
better.
It was World Series, and it was just NA competing against NA.
True.
Like, bro, it wasn't even World Series.
It was an invite tourney. It was literally an invite.
Invite only.
Wow. I had to beg Barstool Sports to pick me up.
No quals.
So we come a long way on that side, for sure.
Here is the format, man. So if you want to zoom in to that, if possible, Pops, let's kind of show them.
Oh, yes, sir.
There you go. scroll down a little bit.
I was gonna
All
need
right.
glasses.
So format. So 120 of the best Warzone players in the world will descend upon the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas to prove that they are truly worthy of being called global champions. We have 2 action-packed days in store. Let's go over day 1. The action begins and Solo YOLO caps off the day. On September 14th, so that is this Saturday coming up, the 40 qualified trios from around the world will drop in for 6 maps competing to earn World Series of Warzone points. The overall standings from day 1 will determine the World Series of Warzone point advantage each trio receives for day 2. With the first place team receiving 40-point head start to their Call of Duty Warzone match point journey, will wrap up day 1 with a $50,000 solo YOLO where 120 players will drop in for 1 game, winner take all drop. So let's kind of break that down. Do we have the point system by any chance, JD? Oh, it's in. Is there no
It
way?
should be right above it. It should be a scroll up, right? Or a scroll down?
Is it? They removed the official rulebook.
Heard.
So yeah,
Really?
No, we can
That's
talk
what-
about it. I think we know it, right?
yeah, we know it.
Oh,
but I'm
he put
saying
it in the chat. He put it in the chat.
Yeah. So
Oh,
first, so they're gonna play 6 games. From that day 1, they're gonna use those scores and give you points for day 2. So that way, day 1 actually means something, right? So first place after day 1 gets 40 points. 2nd through 5th gets 30 points. 6th through 10th gets 20 points. Fuck. JD, you're gonna have to put it again.
Yeah, 6th through 10th is 20 points. 11th through 20th is 15. 21st through 30th only gets 10. 31st through 35th will get 5. And then the bottom 5, 36th through 40th, get 0.
Okay. So, boys, let's kind of pause here and let's talk about it. Thoughts on this, on the format? My personal preference, I think this is perfect. Some people would, well, maybe not perfect. It's near perfect. Some people would say it's too high. I don't believe the point given on day 1 is too high. I believe the match point threshold on day 2 is too low.
Yeah.
Big difference. Yep. My thoughts on this, I wish they would have changed it from 40 points, and instead of going 2nd through 5th, I think it should be like 2nd gets, let's say first place gets 40, 2nd gets 30, and then
20,
then 20, then 3rd gets 28. Whatever. And it goes like that. So that way,
okay.
2nd, in my opinion, shouldn't get the same amount of points that 5th gets.
Just to have like
I
a more
agree.
fair advantage.
More
Yeah.
gradual change. Yeah.
That's where I'm at. But boys, if you guys go ahead.
I mean,
Where's yours?
I do agree. I agree with the 150 match point, maybe a little bit higher. But another thing that we can also discuss is if we had Team Falcons, if we didn't have them as a team, you think that it would be a perfect format for the teams that we have because every team is very competitive.
Okay.
Because if we talk about Team Falcons, they're so consistently that we know that there's a chance of the tournament ending in 3 games or 4 games, possibly.
Yo, that's a valid point. That's a valid point. Now, I guess Ebatez and JGod, do you guys think if Falcons wasn't in the picture, we'd be having the same discussion?
if they weren't in the tournament, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I think 150 would be perfectly fine, but they are obviously like an anomaly, you know? So I mean, I don't think it's fair to change like the rules because of one team. Like I understand why it's 150. It kind of makes sense because I feel like just doing it for one team is kind of I don't know, it's just kind of weird to discredit 39 other teams. And plus I think the data that they have as far as like finals, LCQs and stuff, the point system is, I think they want it to end around 6 or 7 games. And from whatever data they did based on an average is what they're hoping for it to finish. Obviously there's a possibility for them to end it in 4. I don't personally think they will, just because of like LAN. I think pace of play will be a lot slower, and I think kills will come a lot harder, and winning games will be a lot harder. So I think it should be fine. I'll be a little upset if it ends in 4, but I think we should be fine.
Rampage, thoughts, man? On the format in general.
I mean,
Day one.
the same thing, bro. I'm be honest. I feel like you guys covered the points. To be honest, the match point, I wish it was higher. But since we're talking about SSD, I feel like that team is a team that just does impossibles. I think they do win in 4.
Okay, well, I guess we're jumping ahead to day 2, right? So
Yeah.
for those of y'all who don't know what day 2 is, pretty much you take your points that were given to you from day 1, and obviously if you got first, 40 points, whatever, and then you start off day 2. So now in day 2, it's match point. I'll just read this. Probably they worded it better. Following the mayhem of the solo YOLO, trios will reunite to start day 2 and the Call of Duty Call of Duty Warzone match point finals. With the best performing teams from day 1 taking advantage of their head start, trios will battle it out to surpass 150 point threshold to become match point eligible. Match point eligible squads must fight to secure a first place map finish to become the World Series of Warzone champion squad, who will overcome the 39 other trios and claim the $300,000 first place prize. So what this means pretty much is you start day 2 with the points that you earned from day 1, right? If you're in first, you get 40. If you're in second to fifth, 30, 30, and then so on and so on, right? And then you play till you hit 150 points. After you hit 150 points, you must win a game to win the entire tournament. Now, I still think, even my opinion, even with Falcons not being in it, let's say you take them out, I would still like to see like a 175 match point threshold. In my opinion, this is the one event, one day out of the whole year that everything is leading up to. I don't think there should ever be a possibility that something could end in 4 games. It should always, minimum, the fastest something should end is in like 6. That's like the fastest. And then after that, hey, if it goes 10 games, it goes 10 games. At least the things have been worked for a whole year to get to one final day. And the thought that, yes, we understand Falcons is so crazy, they could actually do it. But somebody to win in 4 games and then everything be over, that's wild.
Now that you talk about it like that, bro, I'll be honest, like Krinkz is saying, bro, if Falcons weren't there, bro, like, it'd be perfect. It'd be perfect, 150. Just for the fact that right now, we just finishing a tournament and no team, we can't put a place to second place right now, but we don't have, they're not consistent enough to be like, okay, like, oh, they get a big juicer, 25. The next one, they get like 14 and like top 10. Like, that would be the perfect, like, if you put it at 175, it'll probably take a minute. It'll probably take like 10 games for them. I mean, I don't want to, like you said, like, you don't want to discredit any of the teams, but right now, no team is like that consistent at the moment besides Stiwo, Pazuka, and
they're not consistent.
Like, no, Pazuka, but like with Noobs, the 3 tournaments they played that just started,
I think what you mean is
so
there's
far.
a lot of teams that are more consistent than their contemporaries, but relative, no one's near consistent when somebody wins 95% of the tournaments.
Right. Right.
That doesn't leave much for anyone else to be consistent, even if they get second every time.
How many teams have we had hit match point out of all the 40 teams that we actually?
Aiden?
Let's really think about it. Maybe there's probably like 8 teams or like 10 teams.
I feel like it's less than 10.
It has
less than 10?
I feel like less than
It's around 10 because you had that one tourney that went longer. It went up to 11 or 12
but like
games.
World Series, the Warzone team.
Yeah,
I mean, but even still, like, just once?
Like,
it's
actually,
usually
like,
5. It's
this is
usually
just-
5 or
this-
6 teams.
I would say,
like this is me nitpicking, right?
Yep.
But, like, obviously, but like we obviously seen pickup teams hit match point, this and that. But like the actual teams that are going to the World Series of Warzone, how many have we actually
I feel like
hit
it's
match point?
very rare, boys. Like
It's very
feel
low.
It's very,
It's very
low.
low.
Lower than it should be.
Now, just imagine them trying to hit 170.
that's what I'm saying. 175, like, that's just like, the whole reason
be
we're
tough.
just having this conversation is because
Well,
of Falcons.
Well,
Yeah.
Part
I
of
think
it is because they close out so damn quick. It's like nobody ended up on match point but them technically for this tournament today, right? And it went to 7 games.
yeah.
True.
I mean, that's
True.
the thing with a higher match point, though. So in general, I mean, match point isn't quote unquote the most competitive format we have. It's the most exciting because I feel like a match, like if you just did a best of 6 tournament, if you held it every day, they're gonna win the tournament. Best team's always gonna win usually. So I feel like a match point tournament, the higher the threshold is how we close that skill gap a little bit because the higher the match point, the higher the more competitive format it is. So I feel like, I mean, I think you guys all agree, like the higher match point threshold would not only be better for more games and viewership, but also to ensure that the best team is winning most of the time. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
the lower the match point, anybody could really realistically hit match point if there's like 1 or 2 bad games. And then next thing you know, a bunch of teams are on match point, and then a win in Warzone can sometimes be random. You know, a mortar strike can do some crazy shit. We saw Biff when them get PA today through a building. Like random shit can happen. It can happen. So I think a higher
The
match
door
point
was
threshold.
open. That was a perfectly good PA. No, I'm just like,
Yeah. Anyways, I think a higher match point threshold would have been nice, but I don't know. I mean, it sucks that like kind of like what Hector's saying. It sucks that we have to sit here and hope that a team doesn't win quick. because it kind of takes away from the team winning. Like if they win in 4, I'm gonna be like, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Like I'll be happy for them, obviously. But like it's like, fuck, that sucks. Like I don't want that. I want a good tournament where we also celebrate the winners.
I think that's double-edged though, because just like back in the day, even for competitive COD, for CDL or MLG or whatever you want to talk about, there was teams that were dominant, and the most dominant teams, they were whooping the rest of the competition by landslides. That's why they created these dynasties, right? So the reality is, if it was close, there would never be this quote-unquote dynasty. Even though we could say that, you know, Tommy and them were, they did good. They were kind of like a dynasty for that patch of Warzone, and then now we got kind of like a new team that's kind of come in, especially with Biffle, Shifty, and then it was Sage and switched over to Hisoka.
Right.
But it's still kind of like that run where that dominance is almost equally as good as it being close, but for different reasons, right? Because it's like, damn, they really were the best, you know, versus, you know what? You know, they're not leaving it to chance, bro. They're not leaving it to chance. It's like they are the best on that day. They're going to win by 70 points or something stupid. And then it's going to be like, damn, they really whooped everyone's ass. You know, there's no question. But if it was close, then people go, oh, you know what? Well, if this happened, this went this way. If this kill trip, like the Huskers thing getting invited for last chance quals, right? Like everyone remembers that one gunfight because it was literally that close. Instead of like
to qualify,
you know, so it's kind of one of those things where both sides has their moments, and being dominant, even though they did dominate last year and winning, and we already knew they were going to win going into the last match because of the format. Match point's going to add a little bit more to that even then, because it could literally not end. They still ended up top 4 today for the match prior, and the match could have ended then. It's like, shoot, we get one more game, and it gives people an opportunity to actually close out and hopefully close that distance. But I think dominance is good too, like on both sides, even though it's not going to stress the tourney as long. It is nice to have a team that's dominant, because then it's like, yeah, they really are that good.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, how fast can they hit? What's the least amount of games we could get? In my opinion, the least amount of games we could get is 4, because they hit match point in 3 and then ace in 4.
Yes,
that's going to be so difficult though on LAN.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I could see them winning in 5.
Could happen.
But 4 would take a fucking miracle.
Yeah,
it can end in 3. It can end in 3.
No,
that would mean they have to hit match point in 2, which would be
have to drop like back-to-back
impossible.
30 kill wins and then like win the next game. Like that would be. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Right. What's 110 divided by 3?
110 divided. I got you right here,
like
bro.
40 something. It's like 36 or something like that.
Yeah, 36 and a 6,
36.
36.6666.
Even then, that's still pretty hard, especially on LAN. It will be harder.
Yeah, they'll probably hit match point in 4 or 5, and then they'll probably win after a couple. I think we get like 7 games, in my opinion.
I think that's good. They're going to hit match point by 4 games by the end of the 4th game. Just by looking at the tournaments we've had for the past 2 months.
Right.
They usually hit it by that 5th or 6th game, but they're getting an extra 40 points. Likely, if we're expecting them to come out day 1, 40 points on top of that. How many times would it be 4? I think 4 will be a safe number.
Right. It also takes a big factor on where we're getting the end zones.
I'm just saying, bro. Today,
do you think it matters that much for teams like Falcon?
Yes.
For Falcons.
Harder.
I'm only talking about them because they're the ones that we think
are
could
going to
end
be
it
spending
fast.
more time. Yeah, because Zone Pools are going to be spending more time rotating and stuff instead of getting kills. So it'll just slow down. They're using advanced UAVs to rotate rather than fight mid game. So they'll just inherently just have less kills. But so if we get some city zones, I mean, yeah, it'll slow them down.
Which
but
we will.
It's kind of the inevitable though. It's like you're just slowing down the inevitable.
Like last year's all ended like in the same area. No,
I wanted to kill myself.
I know today.
Seraph Bay could not rotate.
Yeah.
I know today we had the first game, downtown ending. They ended with 30 kills though.
Right.
Yeah.
In a 15K. Obviously, it's not going to play the same as World Series Warzone, but you know, there's still a possible of them dropping a high kill game because they did rotate early, and then that's what they do best, just rotating and getting on the same spots.
I think that I genuinely do think that it doesn't matter. Where like, yes, I agree with Ebatez like the reasoning behind it, but I like they know. Remember, we're talking about the best team in the game right now. They will roll early and fight.
Best team we've ever seen, honestly.
Well, you know what was annoying?
You know what I'm
Even
saying?
his last game, right? The last match, I'm watching. Hisoka's all like, "Oh, I'm going left." Fucking zone pulls hard left his way. I'm like, bro, how the hell do you know that shit? Like, there's no way. There's
they are
no way.
fucking nerds. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
nerds.
I hear it all. I see it all the time in chat. They're like, oh my god, they're so lucky. They always get the pull. I'm like, nah, these
just know
motherfuckers
shit, bro.
are nerds. Like
The
He's the
patterns.
zone whisperer,
Nerds, bro.
This is craziness. Because he literally goes, oh, okay, hold that rock and the head glitch or whatever for Biffle. And he's like, I'm going to pull left. And then
Pullze fucking
that
left.
shit pulls
hard
left.
left. Hard left. I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
damn. Yeah, the
Yeah.
zones are predictable, to be fair. But
Yeah, they are.
you do have to put in the work to memorize those things and retain them. Late game, play enough matches, study enough, and actually put it to memory. So, and that's what they're doing. I think other teams do those things too. It's just really hard. Like at the end of the day,
Right.
it's just really hard.
Right.
Like we saw that clip. People will contest them too, and they're gonna only worsen their odds, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Again, I kind of wanted to talk about this. Do you guys think that any team contests them off rip and on match point?
I think teams will land on them after like 3 games or so. I think a team might try it day 2, just like get first game, but I think you're dumb. Unless you're in like dead last, you're dumb to land on them. But you wouldn't be dumb to like rotate into them with an advance. Like if you were set up and you're like, hey, like we need to kill this team on match point, then like that's fine. But just landing on a team and just like hoping you're gonna kill them, it's like you're just an idiot. Like I'll
I
be
think
honest.
it's also difficult on LAN. Like from people's homes, they could actually pull up a stream and go, oh, okay, where kind of in the direction are they? And they could go that way, even though that's not good. People could do that. But on LAN environment, they have that other monitor off. You literally don't know.
Right.
And knowing this team, they're going to have multiple areas that they're comfortable landing, even if somebody contests them. So it's not going to be as predictable as, oh, they're just going to go over here to this spot, and this is the only spot they're going to go to. They're going to be prepared.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you think they have a spot ready to go on match point? If they're the first team to hit it, do they land pop off or do they have something else in store? You think?
Yeah, you
I think
guys
on
feel
zones,
like
they
knowing
definitely have
them,
other spots.
They're prepped.
Okay.
You can tell like
They probably never even said it on stream type shit.
Oh
Like,
no, they for sure did it. They for sure have not.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, 100%. 100% they're ready. They got their list
Type
of
shit.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, look, let's go over real quick the times. JD, I don't know if you have it. If not, I can just say it. But so pretty kind of crazy that it coincides with all the scrims and the tournaments that we've had. But Saturday and Sunday, the tournament starts at the broadcast goes live for the main broadcast at 12 Central. 12 PST, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 p.m. BST. So if you're looking at this, 10 a.m. early access doors open. So if you have VIP tickets, 10 a.m. PT. All right, that's what time the doors open. If you have regular tickets, 10:30 a.m. doors open, and then at 12 p.m. PT, the actual show starts. Right, 12 p.m. That's 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, and then 8 p.m. BST. And then the tournament itself starts at 12:30 PST, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern, 8:30 BST. All right, and the exact same thing for Sunday. So
What's up, baby?
I'm really happy about this because last year,
Yeah.
what time were people waking up to watch?
Like
That
7
shit was
a.m. or
shocked.
something crazy.
What was it, like 7 a.m.?
My whole family was watching at like 7 a.m. Pacific.
That is insane.
So we got the time
So
zone now.
we got a little 12 p.m. That's, you know,
Yeah.
it's.
I mean, it's low key good that it's during this time because I think everybody's gonna be used to like playing at this time.
Right. They won't have to adjust. I think that's a good thing. A lot of these guys, because we've had scrims every day at the exact same time, and they won't have to adjust to this. Unless, obviously, EU, maybe they, a little bit of jet lag, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, again, I like this. And for those who are wondering, if you do get in early, I don't think there's assigned seating. So if you did get VIP tickets, you get to go first and choose whatever seat you
Isn't
want.
there like a floor seating? Like a floor seating
Yeah,
for
there's
VIP?
so let's talk about that. Do we know any of the setup yet?
Oh, we
I don't think
so.
we do. That's usually a surprise.
Okay.
Oh.
So you have a picture?
Come on, we
Oh,
That venue,
oh.
I'm
But realistically,
To
we'll
you,
know
to you.
Friday what it looks like.
I'm assuming they're gonna cut the venue in half,
Half.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way they always do it. So
Or like
more
the
than
third
likely,
or whatever. Yeah.
the way it was in London was it was like cut in half, but it was a circle in the middle,
Mm.
or like
All the setups.
a U in the middle.
Yeah.
A U in the middle. And then there was just stands right here. They said there's floor seating now. So the way I think it's gonna work, it's probably gonna be cut in half, then a bunch of floor seats, and then maybe like the same thing, a U for
Like a
for the-
CDL, like a CDL event.
yeah,
Yeah,
kind of like a CDL.
Champs.
Yeah, Champs. The only thing was two. It was like two.
Yeah.
Dude, those
Teams.
floor seats at Champs were ass. I don't know if you guys saw those. if you were down
Yeah.
low, it was elevated, and
Well,
the people
because
were like,
the stage was
Nah.
elevated. Yeah.
and
I
they
saw
were like
that.
behind camera equipment. It was like horrible. I felt terrible for the people that paid for that.
Yeah. So
Down.
there is for those out where they're bringing up the picture of the thing, but there is meet and greets. I mean, Ebatez, do you know more about this? I know a little bit, guys.
I know nothing about that.
There are meet and greets
So,
for Saturday,
yeah.
and I believe maybe Sunday. We're trying to
That's
figure
cool.
it out right
Those
now.
are official, right? Official.
Yeah, those are official,
Yeah.
official meet and greets.
That's cool because that was
s-
like one of the biggest feedbacks I think. Like we pointed out last year, is that like it gives
As
the
a
opportunity
player,
to
it
fans
was a
to
great
meet and
experience.
interact. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a player last year in London, it was a good experience. As a fan or a viewer, it was not. But as far as like anything I've heard, I know some teams were offered meet and greets. Like I know Aiden's team was offered to do one. I think they are. I'm sure other teams. I'm sure Swag was offered one. I'm sure like the bigger creators were given some spots. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah,
cool. I'll
we
be in
got-
line.
we
I can't
got
wait to get Aiden's autograph.
We got asked to do one, so yeah, more
Oh,
than
nice.
likely, chat. We will be doing one Saturday morning. We more than likely will. So if you are going, we probably will be doing a meeting
Damn.
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Okay, so
Going in
I'm
early,
ass-
Hector.
Hey, that's what they told me, man. That's the slot they
Seven
gave
in the
me.
morning?
No, not
We're
7,
about
not
to be at the
7.
club
Come
on
on.
Friday, Pops. We're about to be at the club on
Holy.
Friday.
It's gonna be like
Come
10.
on, man.
It's gonna be like 10:15 or some shit like that.
Whoa, chill. Rampage, we got to go home early, man.
10:15.
Sheesh.
And then yeah, so it's gonna be like 10:15, 10:45. I'll give you guys details very
So,
soon. But we will be
It's
doing
either
one.
going to be like the first example or the second.
It'll be the first.
Stage.
First. It'll be like the first.
Yeah.
That is 1000%
Why do
probably
you
the
think
way
it'll
it's
be
gonna
the
be.
first instead of the second?
Because the
I
second
think
one
the second's too big.
too big. Yeah.
All that floor seeing?
Yeah.
Too much
Because-
floor?
Like, look below. Look below. That's the ice hockey rink. Like that's literally like that's
A
massive.
full rink? Well,
It's a
maybe,
full
yeah.
rink.
Well, the stage. Well, how are they going to do it? Because they can't fit 150 competitor or 100
So
whatever on stage.
they'll probably do curtains, and then like the stage will maybe lean back a little bit more, and then
They'd
it'll
have
be
to
like
have a big ass stage, to be fair.
it'll be like a curtain that's kind of like a I don't know how they would do it, but they should. How many players are there? 120.
20 players, yeah.
It shouldn't take up too much space.
Well, just relative to last year where it was the 150.
150, yeah.
And that the stage was pretty huge.
Yeah, the stage was fucking massive.
Yeah,
Last
last year's
year.
massive.
It'd definitely be number one.
I
guess
think
we'll
it's
have
gonna
to
be
figure
number
it out.
one.
Yeah,
Because
one, now that you're saying it does make sense because they need enough space, but it's like I wonder how the format like will look like for the stage, because the seating that makes sense perfectly, but fitting 120 setups, dual PC, whatever.
It'll probably be like a U, no? Or they just do a full just a full straight line. You think it like they
So-
take off
Nah,
I
one?
don't
straight line
know.
would seem, yeah.
There's a lot more
interesting,
space
though,
here
for
than
sure.
I think this show. Like it's a
Maybe.
big arena. It's a massive arena.
yeah, do we
So,
have it?
Orleans Arena.
Well, like
I
even
mean,
the example on the bottom right,
There it is.
yeah, I mean that is huge to be fair.
They could probably
Yeah,
do like
okay,
3
maybe-
rows, no?
That's what I'm saying. Like this is the second setup right here.
okay,
Wait.
you're right. Actually, JGod might be right. So
Wait,
where the second part of chairs starts, like where it's like the full
Yep.
6 squares, those will probably be the stage.
Right.
Yeah,
And
because
that way they
it
have
has
all of the
three
back to
sets
use
of
setups.
seating,
But what they'll do
versus
probably
the
is
other one
they'll
only had one.
those seats that are in the very back left, they'll probably cover those with like those won't be like available seats basically.
Yeah. They'll be
Yeah.
covered. Yeah.
They'll just be covered.
Yeah, I think if you got VIP tickets, you're up.
Really?
Yeah.
How dog was that?
Either way.
Ghost.
Either way.
Yeah, because if they do it like that, you'll probably be able to see everything when you're in the front.
Plus, the
Right,
screens seem pretty big too. Like whatever they're gonna hire. And then probably where this little music looking stage is, that's probably could be where the like Goj and
Podcasters.
shit will be, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, right there. That's probably ours. I know where we're at, boys.
Whoa,
Leak!
Do you actually know or not?
I do.
Yeah.
No way.
Leak.
What
Wait, is it somewhere in this picture? Is somewhere in the picture?
Oh, yeah. I
Text
spy my little
y'all.
eye. A little eye spy my little eye.
Guys,
Let's go.
for those of y'all who don't know, it's the world's best kept secret. Chat, we will be going to World Series of Warzone and doing the watch party / podcast from the venue live. Should be fire. I will be IRL streaming everything as well. On top of that, like we did next. So hope you guys are ready for that. It should be fun, bro. Yeah. So
It's gonna be gas.
yeah, there's no way that's crazy.
Oh, we don't even know.
But yeah, so again, I don't know. I'll say that I don't know about like the floor and shit like that. I don't know anything like that. But yeah, we have a cool setup, boys. We have a cool setup this year. Dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope, baby.
Hector, we're
bro.
not in a closet. We're not in a closet. Like,
That spot wasn't too
Oh,
bad
man.
last year. It wasn't too bad.
No,
It
he's
was
talking
good.
about EWC. Hey, next year,
Oh,
trust
yeah, you
me,
guys
next
were in a
year,
room. I was
EWC's gonna
like,
be
it was
lit.
actually pretty smooth where we were at on the other one.
Right.
It was just kind of hidden in the corner.
I'm glad it turned out the way it did last year because like we were supposed to be in another place originally,
Hey.
and then I don't think the vibe would have been the best. But then the way we changed it, it was like perfect.
Yeah, it worked
And
out.
so
It was dope. It was right next to the restrooms. Oh. Bro, I just had to go. I had to go pee, bro. Like it's right there. You know, I'm locked in.
Oh man. So yeah. Okay. So we have that. Let's talk about some teams, man. There are some teams that probably will be changing. So we talked about a little bit today during stream, but some players had visa issues, and I think it's all but done. We could talk about what teams did or didn't.
Okay.
Right? Aren't going. Let's talk about one team that we for sure know is not going, or player is Krinkz. His visa did not get approved. So Almond will be substituting for him, and that will be Almond, Hamoud, and Ziz. That will be a trio going forward.
which
Yeah.
is crazy. That's crazy. A couple
Yeah.
things there. One that sucks, like Krinkz, like I feel bad because he's actually insane. First time I found him, he was like, I think JGod was doing like a spectating solos thing whenever he was in like Dubai, and Krinkz was like going crazy. So I've known about him for a while, and I know he really wanted the opportunity. So that sucks. Another weird thing there is that they picked up an NA player. So
Yeah.
it's like an EMEA team, and I know we'll talk about another team too, but
The half and
that's
half,
like
or 2/3.
yeah,
and
it's
1/3.
interesting to think that they weren't forced to pick up another EMEA player,
I thought that that's what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
which I think they
That
should. I
actually
think that's how it
seems
should have.
crazy, right?
That's how it should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah. I thought they would make it to where you have to pick up somebody from your region and your region only. That is crazy to think that they let it. But hey, I mean, to be
Good
honest,
for Almond and
the
good for
best
that team.
players, the best free agents are from North America. So I
Those
see
guys-
why they did that, right?
Those guys
Yeah.
got third in their quals, right, for finals.
Hamoud and them,
Yep, they got third.
did they get third? Okay, yeah. So that's one team. I don't know. They haven't been playing too great in the scrims. I don't think that's fair judgment though, because Hamoud and Ziz are on 200 plus ping on
Yeah.
even on London servers, which is like it's chalk.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Big difference.
I think they're on 200 in London, unless they're 200 on New York and then 100 on London. I could be wrong though.
So,
But so another team. This is where. Oh, no, let's talk about one team right here. So they have one team has, Extra J did not get approved as well. That is a team from Latin America, and they are picking up another Latin American player called Dizzy. So
yeah.
that is a team. I don't really know what to expect. We haven't
Yeah.
seen them play that much. I don't think they've been playing too hot. Dizzy, this was Dizzy's, I think, first scrim with them
Yeah. How
today.
they do? Do you remember or no?
I don't think they did too hot today.
Okay.
So it's one of those that it's like, I feel bad because obviously that wasn't the plan going forward, and Dizzy's kind of just getting thrown into the fire. But what can you do, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, hope for the best. And then lastly, this is the one that's very interesting.
Up in
and
the
some people might not even know this, right? You guys probably don't know this, but Ancient Patsuka's duo. That is, there's a crazy situation going down right now.
Mhm.
So as of last week, Ancient was not getting his visa approved, right? So they went on to figure it out. It was going to be Stuo, Patsuka, and Noobs. They were trying out Noobs, Skullface, and
I think it just
it might have been them
yeah.
two. And so we saw them play scrims last week, all with both of them. And I think ultimately they decided with Noobs was the better option for them. So now Enxian is able to get his visa approved. Got it approved, but now they have to wait for him to receive it. So there's a weird scenario now where if Enxian can get his visa by Thursday and have it ready to go, he can then go to World Series. If he does not have it, or if he does not get it,
then they have the backup plan.
then they have noobs. So, for example, today they played with noobs because in Stuel's mind, he was saying in the chat, he said they had played thousands of reps with Enxian. And in the slight chance that they don't get to play with him and they have to play with noobs, they wanted to get reps with them today to see how they performed and to iron out little things just in case if Enxian's visa doesn't get here in time.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like Sage says it's already approved. Just not issued.
No, it is approved.
Yeah,
it is approved.
it's approved.
It hasn't been.
It's
He needs to receive it, right?
Yep.
So it's been approved. It's already been approved. So that's a good thing. Now it's just we're hoping that it can get here on time so that way he can play.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
to be fair, they like what somebody in the chat. Oh, they shouldn't do lands at US, but we had similar issues in Europe where there's like 3 teams replaced. So it's like about that average. It's just going to be that average of players that have issues. It's just the nature of having 200 or 150 people come out or whatever.
Right.
It's just,
Right.
So many people.
Yeah. Apparently, somebody said in the chat earlier that in Fortnite there was 10 players that couldn't come.
Yeah. Even for Apex, no.
I mean,
Apex,
that's
yeah,
It
in LA
happens.
had
No matter where it's
their
at
whole
in the
team
world,
couldn't
there will
make it.
always be hiccups. Just because life's not that simple, everything doesn't just fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Shit happens. You
I'm
know?
hoping that next year they
Yes, that
change
is
things a
true
little bit and
too.
they announce earlier. You know,
Yeah, they
I
gotta
hope
announce
that
it way
we get a
earlier.
schedule. I hope we can get a schedule way before and get this all
Yeah.
figured out. So if there's going to be hiccups that happen, that they can figure them out in the process whenever, like if they just announce earlier. So
That would be nice. That would be really ideal, actually.
dude, like Rampage was saying, I mean, if you want to talk about it, since you're the one who brought it up, they've been playing really good with noobs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like because I think that's a team, bro. This is their third time playing, and they've been consistent second place, bro. And then like you see like teams who have been like just like Samir, Brax, C9. You know, teams have been playing mostly majority of the scrims, and to find that sort of success, bro, in 3 scrims with
That
pretty good
fast?
average and pretty good kills. Like Ebatez was saying, bro, earlier, like regardless if they get Enxian as well in there, they're easily like top 5. That team is very, very good, disgusting, and the POI that they're controlling in downtown is really, really, really good. Like they earned that spot. Obviously, they had to fight for it, but like what you're rewarded is, bro, so much loot there. Like obviously, they get the economy every time they res. Just look up, instant kill, bro.
Right. So I mean, they really
Regardless of who
spawn
they
right
play
around.
with.
Well, also
regardless of-
the other alternative for a future, because there's always going to be hiccups, is that you end up inviting, like obviously we'd have more days of competition, but you'd have to invite 100 or 240 competitors, and then the top half on each move on, and the bottom half get eliminated or whatever the case is. So they'd already all be there. So going into the final, everyone who qualified would essentially make it. Obviously, some people would get eliminated still because of issues, but the people that were at LAN, they competed to go to the next stage on LAN, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that in the years to come, right, we can have, I think it'd be really cool. Again, I'm being very, very open-minded here and hoping that one day, like, we can get, if there's 100 players competing in one lobby, we can get 200 or even 150 players going at it. And then
Bring
we
them
do
up into
groups. Yeah.
Yep.
And then they knock off 50 and it's 3-4 days, right? So yeah, well, that's the goal one day. That's the goal.
Yeah.
But so moving forward, boys, I guess let's just kind of talk about the teams real quick. We don't have to kind of stick on it too long, but we did talk about this before the podcast. And just right now, we were talking about, somebody asked in the chat, they were like, hey, is there a number 2 team right now? And I'm curious to hear y'all's ideas. I'll just say right now, in my opinion, there is no number 2 team. There's no team that I'm like, oh yeah, this is guaranteed the second best team. Like we knew kind of at EWC, Fnatic was kind of like the second best team there. We kind of knew that going into it.
Well, even last year, for example, we kind of had an expectation that of the top 3 teams,
Soka
kind of,
or TBE.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We kinda knew
it
that.
fell in line. That hasn't been the same this year at all. And I think that's because the competition has grown, even though despite one team outshining a lot of the other, flow, I guess, of the other people.
Right.
It's just kind of that part of it. But there's a lot of people that can just show up on the day of. They show up on random tournaments throughout the past couple months.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're like, damn, they look really good.
Right,
Next
right.
tournament is like, oh, they're 10th? What the hell happened?
That's the way
Yeah.
it's been all fucking summer.
All time.
To be fair, this year it was with such a late announcement, kind of some random teams got thrown together. I don't think we really had time for teams like gel. I mean, Aiden, Smith, and DJ were literally a team that signed up the day before, and
Same.
DJ had never played a tournament with Aiden because because it was such a late announcement. I think he was with like Colors and Attract, and I think Smith was playing with somebody random,
yeah.
and then somehow they I think DJ and Smith were talking because they played last year, and then they picked up Aiden. Aiden was like a little unsure, so. I think that's also a huge part of it is that there were just random teams thrown together this year because of the late announcement. And also we had two pretty dominant teams in Shifty, Biffle, Sage, and Soka, Almond, Noobs. And it feels like they kind of waited till the last minute to do it. And then it broke up Almond and Noobs with Soka, and then it kind of threw Sage in the mix. So there's three really good players in Almond, Noobs, and Sage who kind of just like were trying to figure it out. Skull just left Brett and Joe. So it was like, okay, that was like an easy whatever. And then Sage kind of... So it just made random things, and I think that's why we don't have a solid second team this year is because, I mean, hey, Soka and Shift are kind of fucking masterminds, I guess. They just broke up so many good teams that could have been good, and then just last second forced teams to have to sign up with random trios.
I said this in June, and people were saying I was fucking faded. And when we were having the discussion of whether Soka would leave Almond and Noobs, because they were technically winning everything at the time, if they would leave them to join Diaz and Shifty. And I was like, look, this is what my gut is telling me. My gut is telling me that Soka would, like, they have competition. In my opinion, if at the time Diaz, Shifty, and Sage were not working, but in time, I think they would have worked. And they could have had competition against that team and Soka, Almond, and Noobs. That could have been it. But Soka leaving that team, I said is going to break them. It's going to break them. And I think Soka knows if he joins Diaz and Shifty, there is not a single team that can be formed that can beat them.
Damn.
And people were like, you're
we
faded, you're
about
faded.
that right when it happened too.
Yeah. And people were like, oh, you're faded. I was like, no, like truly. They're like, everybody was like mind blown. They're like, it doesn't make sense because Soka is winning everything.
You just want back to back. He literally won back to back.
Yeah, they won back to back tournaments and they were winning everything. Everyone was like, why? It doesn't make sense. I still stand by that. I think if it was Soka, Almond and Noobs, Diaz, Shifty, Sage, I do believe that would have been a fucking insane. I think their skill seating, obviously we know how good it is. They were just playing bad at the time. Like they would have eventually caught up to them. And it would have been, who knows what would have happened, right?
That was crazy.
I still believe that it's just unfortunate that Almond, Noobs, and Skullface just had the worst stretch of games when it mattered. Because realistically, at this point, they had the most potential, I think, to actually be that team. Even if they were going to be the second team, they would be that team. And
that
now
team
we
on
never
paper,
get to see it. Now we never get to see it.
That team on paper doesn't even really work, but like I said, Skull was like the only available option. I guess Noobs and Almond could have tried to take somebody off somebody else's team, but I mean, Skull had just left Bread, and he was like, okay. They're like, okay, let's play with Skull, I guess, because they literally had to sign up for World Series. There was like no other option. Like it was like, okay, we got to put a team together.
But I feel with the reps, and I think they would have come together, and it would have been cool.
Yeah.
So.
Damn.
But now we'll never know.
We'll never know, bro. We'll never know, man.
Hey, Skull, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy how many teams actually formed last minute.
Bro, let's name them.
Most of them. I would say over half of them.
Sage, Adrian,
Chris.
Swag.
Yeah.
That is a team that formed last minute. Smitty, Aiden, DJ, because
the Wolf.
Sage, because Adrian and Aiden decided to break.
Yeah, super.
Brax had like fucking 12 different teammates.
Oh, he was trying
fucking
them all.
dropping his teammates left and right.
At one point, I was playing for
DJ, man.
I didn't make the cut.
Bro, it was gonna be Prospect, DJ. Oh no, sorry, Prospect,
Brax and Trick, I think?
and Juju. It was Juju.
Or Juju, Juju.
Yeah, Juju.
I remember that team, bro.
And then they dropped, right?
Yeah.
Huskers,
Huskers.
Literally last minute.
Yep.
Huskers.
Huskers brought like Jackal. That team was
Nicole.
Yeah, so it
Nicole
was super
literally
cool.
signed up the morning of.
Super Evan,
absolutely fucking
Super
insane.
Evan.
Otter.
Yep.
Evan Otter Trick. Like, I
Rated,
think
Prospect
this year,
Mapo.
bro, I think this year was a year of,
Oh yeah, 2T.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't
100?
think, do I think that there was still teams that, okay, here, how can I word this? I think the teams that we have this year are not the best possible teams that could have been formed. And I think a
100%,
big part of
because there
that
was no time.
is because of time. Now,
Yeah.
do I think that the end result would have changed? Probably not. Like,
No.
I still think, Falcons are still number one.
I still
But-
think we would have had like you said, a second team that was like, okay, this team's fucking good.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, we are here a week before the tournament and we have no second team.
Yeah. Because it
And they
was
just-
Gary in them, but they haven't
It
really
was
been
Gary.
playing great.
That's what I'm saying. Look, it was Oma NA. They dropped. It was, I said earlier, Gromalok and Kyoheeds. They dropped. It was
Yeah.
Dongi, Scummin, and Gary. They dropped. Now, as of right now, we don't have a team that's been consistently like, even if they do bad every once in a while, but like, we haven't had a team that's been consistently good, right?
I still think the second best team showed up to LAN is Gary, Scummin, and Dongi.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't think they've done enough in these like recent scrims, which is again recency bias for them to like be like, yeah, they're the best second best team. But I still think they're the second best team showing up.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of a good thing, especially from second to 15th or whatever. It can really be any team.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily any team, but
But-
we have a lot of teams that we could fit in that little spot where you could literally be second.
There's so
because
many
you
teams.
showed up at LAN that day.
Bro, we were talking about this, or somebody said in the chat, I think it was Saracen. There was literally like 5 different teams that if they got second, it'd be like, oh, that's not really surprising. Like, oh, they could hit second. I think there's a lot of teams that can.
Yeah.
Like, I think obviously the biggest thing would be if Falcons don't win. Like,
Bro, there's no.
imagine.
They're all
It's just
fucking
so hard.
animals.
Dude, it's
They're
just so
very-
hard to like
They're
pick and
gonna win.
choose.
I can't even see that as a possibility that they don't win, bro. I'm telling you. Who's there?
Also, I think there's some people that will have performance on LAN that will just be better, especially if they're used to playing on medium to high ping. Whether it's cross country because they're playing on East Coast servers and they're on West, or they're playing from EU or whatever. And not necessarily because of the ping, but it's just more like that mental aspect of the game where what's incredibly important when you get in a gunfight is people don't talk about it enough. It's just the confidence that you're going to win the gunfight, right? Like you have to have confidence to shoot straight, sit in there when you're taking bullets to not be nervous or whatever. And I think sometimes people when play on high ping, even if they say it doesn't bother them,
Right.
it's still in the back of their head like, oh shit, like, fuck.
I should try to
You know,
win that if I
but-
was on paying.
Yeah. So you get into your own head instead of having like pure confidence where it's like, all right, I know when I'm shooting straight, it's going to hit my shots. And
Yeah.
some people will play situations differently, knowing that they're on their like on LAN. So I think some people will obviously play better. And then some people will obviously play worse just because maybe nerves of a crowd, maybe the adrenaline of those first matches to settle in. And luckily we have 2 days so people can actually sleep on it and be like, oh, whew, got
Yeah.
that out the way. We
Day
go into
one or day
tomorrow.
one.
and
That's
it's
a
gonna
very
be
good-
crazy. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of elements to it. I think I don't know. I think we have a number on this, but I would imagine the percent of people that were in World Series last year competed on LAN or a combination of EWC or whatever other event is pretty
I don't know how
high.
many
Like the number of
new-
competitors is probably pretty high. I would say over 60%, right?
We have
Just
some
on
good
the
competitors this
Yeah.
year.
estimate. But there's still a
And
lot
what-
of new people. It's just like, I would say around 50-60% at least were there last
What are
year.
some-
So they got some experience.
What are some players that have not played LAN? It's like what? Scummin, Unrational, Juju, I guess like Strixie, Tapulator, those
Miami LAN
guys. No.
AJ was there.
No,
Or no,
AJ
Vision,
played.
Vision was.
Vision
Was
played.
I don't
AJ
think
and Show?
I don't think Showstopper was there, was he?
Showstopper, I don't think played last year.
I don't think so.
I mean,
Blast
Blast
wasn't. Show wasn't. Otter
Otter.
wasn't. Let me see. Scummin wasn't, but we did see him play in that little LAN
yeah,
in Miami,
won.
and he fucking went rogue.
Yeah,
So-
he went crazy. Youngstas, Gabe, and then obviously all the
Gabe.
rookies. And
The
Maybe,
rookies.
there's,
Kyo.
maybe it is a
Kyo.
little bit less. Maybe it is a lot more than 50, but that's kind of just how competitive Warzone, I guess, is, right? But
Right.
I do feel like the number's high,
Thank you.
and we're obviously
Yeah,
listing a
Gil.
bunch, but you'd have to be able to list 60 players that are new, right?
Yeah.
For half.
Yeah. I mean,
Yo.
so
I got some like
What?
question that I was thinking about, like, so we know how like the Falcons, if they say, for example, they don't go pop off, right? They don't pop off. We got another team that actually hits match point. But how many of these teams have we seen? Like, obviously they haven't like hit the match point sometimes, but how many teams have actually closed? Like, that's like another thing. I feel like
actually won a tournament and
yeah,
closed.
like just close. Like a lot of teams, maybe they do pop off, but how can it do to like close? Because like Falcons, bro, they fucking ace.
They've
have-
aced 3 times this week.
They
Today would've
have
been
the
4.
best. I would say like maybe
Insane.
there'll be a team that'll hit match point, but like for them
Maybe
to
they
close
can't
it,
close. Yeah.
I think
feel
the
like-
only teams that have, I guess, won a scrim is Gary's team,
your team,
Dusamir
Braxton,
won one.
Dusamir,
FIFA.
Braxton.
I mean, those are scrims, right?
Yeah, I mean,
FIFA
even then,
early
it's,
on.
you still
Yeah.
have to close.
FIFA
Tifa's
early
team won a
on.
scrim.
Yeah, he won
I
twice.
think they
Twice,
did. They
remember?
won the first
with the
EU
thermite.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
They won the
won.
first
Oh,
EU
One
one.
two, one on
Okay.
the bridge and one
Two?
by like Lowtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
And then I'm missing one. I know
He
I'm
said
missing one.
ages ago.
Ages ago.
So that's pretty much like
I
my
mean,
biggest
I
thing.
remember seeing Huskers winning, but that was like the first
Well,
match point
the
game.
part of
Echo.
the problem is too
Echo.
is
Aiden.
Falcons have done a good enough job where they haven't allowed teams to even attempt to go on match point. Like today,
Aiden.
no one else has had even a chance. They closed it out
Right.
before somebody even said, "You know what? Let's go for the win today." Like it's already
That's what I'm saying,
over,
like,
bro.
How many teams are prepared for that? You know?
Like, how many teams have realistically have practiced how to
Closing.
close?
Yeah.
That's a good fucking like.
See that shit? I
no,
was just thinking about it. Like,
because it's not.
Hey,
You actually, okay, I'm not kidding. It will mess up your mental when you go from I gotta get points, and then all of a sudden, okay, boys, we gotta win.
uh-huh.
Like,
very true.
some people will play slower and it'll fuck them up.
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
it
fast
messes
players-
up their rhythm.
Yeah.
it happens all the time. Whenever you see teams that are close to match point, they slow down. They're like, we only need this amount of like points to hit match point, and then like they ended up dying by like, bro, like only like it's because
There's no other team.
no other team, right? That's what
I
I'm saying.
think if
Like,
anything,
they
I think
already
teams that probably have done it the most, I think, was probably Gary's team. I think they won 2 tournaments,
Yeah, probably the
2 or
most.
3.
two, yeah, okay.
I
Then
think
it'd
them.
be FIFA's.
Has Enkyo,
And then FIFA
has
2?
Enkyo got to that point? Drumlocking them? No,
I don't think.
like close.
I don't think that's in my opinion. I've been talking about that team, Enkyo's team. That's one of their biggest struggles is they struggle to close. They start off hot, they get to like 100 points, and then they can't close.
Well, it felt like Braxton's team was like that for a little bit too, right? Like they could have probably, but it just didn't happen.
Bro,
Yeah.
they played
But it's
perfect.
just-
They lost the fight on the football field, remember? To
Yeah.
the Wolf. And he's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
win those. And then the Falcons ended up clutching it up. Yeah, the Wolf took off his shirt. Dude, it was a 2v3. It was a 2v3.
I remember that.
I was
remember
like,
that.
that's a chance when they had close. And then if you don't close it like that, bro, the Falcons gonna swoop
Just
in, bro.
swooped it
Like,
away from him.
I actually remember that. I remember
Bro.
that.
like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, these.
But sorry, I'm not
No,
done.
go ahead.
Sorry, but the same thing is like Ebatez is saying, bro. Like as much as we think we see the scrims, we're like, oh, this is the closest. We seen it probably once in pop off when there was like big circle and there was like 50 people. It was just crazy.
It was 2 days ago, 3 days
I
ago.
would say like that. That's probably the closest we can get to World Series of Warzone because, bro, whenever I saw like a rebirth LAN in Saudi, I'm like, bro,
Yeah, I know.
But then I'm like,
We're
bro,
watching
the
it,
first
like-
game is in the fucking
games are
lighthouse.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
fucking
It-
lit. That shit
Super
was lit.
small, and there was like no bullshit, like maybe
5 teams like that.
5 teams all stacked. So that's what we're gonna see, and especially like I mean, I'm just throwing that out. Like we just saw 3 downtown, and then I'm like, okay, Sunday, you know, you just see the pattern. You're like, Sunday you see downtown or like Millie.
Mhm.
These are all POIs where like there's a lot of like cover.
Yeah.
So that shit's
End
about
games will be more stacked.
it's gonna be mixy.
significantly more stacked.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I think the other part too is because of the point system, and let's say theoretically, we're just making the assumption that they're going to be first on the first day.
Right.
The next teams behind them will only be like 5 points behind. Not crazy, but they know their like ability to hit match point. So then it's like, oh shit, well, we got to play for the win because if we play for the win, then they can't win. But then now they have to like this pressure to maybe make a stupid chow to try and hit a certain number of points. So like that gets in people's heads too. And they don't have to worry about it because they're first.
Right.
To add
Like,
on
oh,
to
shit,
what Rampage,
especially if they're behind.
to add on to what Rampage was saying, I think there are teams that do get better on land just because of like the pace of play. And I feel like
True.
Brax is one of those teams. I think
Brax.
Bread's one of those teams.
Bread.
NKO
Aiden.
is one of those
Easy.
teams. Just
Beating
teams
them.
that are like a little bit slower, kind of struggle in fights. I feel like you kind of get bailed out a little bit because kills come a lot easier if you're in good positioning, rather than like forcing fights where we do in a quicker pace of play, like scrims and stuff. So there are teams that are going to get a buff on LAN.
Yep. And this is something when we went to Next, I was talking to Joe about it, and I was like, oh, you got how you feel about the not scrimming as much or whatever. And he said sometimes the scrims, you're just going to get bad habits because there's people literally challenging you in the gas. But
Yeah.
like you would never do that on LAN. Not for
Right,
the
right.
real World Series of Warzone. You just wouldn't do it. So there's going to be people that just play worse on LAN because maybe they're playing a lot of scrims, but not really like evaluating their decision making on how it would differ compared to the actual LAN environment when there's $1 million on the line versus 15,000.
That's a good
I
point.
think so. Bread had put out a tweet pretty much saying that, like what you just said. I think Bread and Joe on the same page. They don't really play a lot of scrims. They don't practice a lot. And he was saying that he thinks scrims are hurting them more than not, or whatever, right? Long story short, we're gonna have a podcast on that with Bread later, or like when we come back. But I think it's kind of missing the point a little bit. I get what he's trying to say, but I don't think it's playing scrims that's fucking you up or that's making teams worse. It's the fact that you're playing scrims and you're not VOD reviewing. And actually VOD reviewing. Because you could play hella scrims, who gives a fuck? But if you're not watching back your VOD and you're not seeing what you could improve on, what you did bad, why we fucked up here, why we fucked there, then it doesn't matter. You're playing scrims for nothing. Like
They're just playing
you're just playing to play.
just to shoot.
So I agree to a certain extent, but in my opinion, you play scrims, but if you're not VODing, then there's no point. Like you're just playing to play, right?
Yep. And
VOD,
how many people are voting, actually voting?
exactly. Like
I mean, that's the
And
thing.
then-
People
because-
yeah.
That goes back to VODs. People don't even know how to watch VODs.
actually watch
like
VODs.
actually watch.
Yeah, they'll watch VODs, but they don't even know what the fuck they're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like they
and-
don't know what
and
to
then,
look
and
for.
then I think also you got to be careful with the VOD watching is that you got to make sure that when you're studying it or whatever that you're actually making decisions based off the information you would have had in the game to make better decisions, because obviously, oh, I know there's 3 people on this side coming from that side, but you can't be practicing making decisions based off of information you wouldn't have had. So I
Exactly.
think that's also like the hard part where you got to be disciplined to absorb the information that's actually happening within the match. And what was the best decision in this moment, knowing everything we knew? And I don't know how many people are actually doing that.
VOD review. Like again, there's a big difference between watching a VOD and like learning from a VOD. Completely different things. And I think 99% of the teams are just watching VODs. They're not learning
I don't even think
from
that
them.
many teams are watching VODs.
Nah, I don't think that many teams are watching VODs.
Yeah,
I agree.
they're probably
I think
like,
people
oh,
just play scrims, hop off. Oh, tomorrow we have scrim
There's
again.
teams, dude. There's teams looking at what DJs are performing what nights. They don't give a fuck.
oh man. like,
They're like,
That's
"Vegas,
actually
let's
fucking
go!"
crazy.
They're like, yo, Tiesto's at Omnia Friday. Let's fucking go. It's day one,
No,
guys. It don't
bro.
fucking matter. Day one, man. Vegas, enjoy yourself.
It's like, if
my
I get
gosh.
20th, I'll cover my drinks. No, I'm just
Yep.
Yeah, type shit. Okay,
Dude.
so look,
I mean,
let's go over the drop map now.
okay, yeah.
Like, if you guys are cool with that, let's go over the drop map and let's go over. I mean, we can still these conversations that we're having, we can still have them with the drop map, and we can just talk about teams
True,
fighting
true.
teams. Again, if there's any competitors in here and any of this is inaccurate or you're changing it up, please let us know and we'll adjust. Okay. JD, do you have it right? Oh,
They're not
Let
going
me
to tell you,
see.
bro. You're going to give away their strengths.
true, man. Okay.
This is
So-
actually a cool, sick map. I wish we had one of these last
For
year.
real.
Right. So now we get to see more or less where everybody's on. Let's go over kind of the key teams that have been kind of going at each other. I think the big one we want to talk about is Panda
Vortex.
versus Vortex. So that is team
I'm lucky.
30,
35,
35.
and I think
30 and
30,
35, yeah.
30 and 35. Those are the teams challenge each other. What do you think? What's your thoughts on that, man? I gave my thoughts before stream, but I'll say it again here. But Ebatez, talk to me. What you think on that?
I think it's funny. I just think it's corny. I think both these teams have egos for literally no reason. Like they're doing more talk on Twitter than they are just like trying to win tournaments. So like I thought it was fun at first, and then I started looking at it and I'm like, dude, this is like actually insane. Like we're talking shit when we're placing 20th in a scrim. Like it doesn't make any sense. So like if you were like shitting on them and like winning tournaments, like I get it, but it was cool at first. Like I said, it's funny. It's all like whatever. And then I started realizing I'm like, dude, you guys are fighting off drop. Great. Then what happens after that? You guys are probably just getting shit on. Like what's going on? So I don't know. I mean, hopefully they keep landing on each other at LAN because I think it'd be funny for them to talk shit in person. But I mean, whatever they do after that, like what happens next. So
Yeah.
It's so interesting to think that everyone's decided where they're dropping, like, and they've respected where other people are, so they've chosen their spot. It's not like, nope, we're landing right here. It's kind of just funny to see like all on one map, and it's kind of weird because like some of those maps, if you get a bad zone pull like at the start, you're going to be stretching the entire time. Like, oh shit, we're pushing into zone. So it's kind of weird just to see kind of where some people have chosen where they land.
Yeah, I mean, bro, look, I want to take a quick 2 seconds to just. This is fucking unreal. If you really think about it, look at how congested certain spots are.
Bottom left, yeah.
And then you look at team number 1, Piffle, Shifty, Soka. That 32, they don't even land there anymore. That we might need to adjust that, JD. 32 Juki's FIFA Lennon. They normally land either Superstore or now they're landing Fire Station.
Fire Station.
Where
So
Team Fanatics used to land.
yeah, so they're no longer there, which means
So it's all free.
all pop off is free, and that's sometimes that Hollow and them sometimes don't land there, right?
yeah,
So teams have adjusted, and
There's a couple.
like, bro, pop up. I mean, bro, Falcons gets all like when you see it on paper, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
We're gonna go through the teams one by one, or can we like just pick?
yeah, we can go over one if
It's
you
also
want.
kind of funny too to look at. It's like, bro, if I was choosing a landing spot, obviously I don't play competitive big map or big map in general. I play mainly small, but it's kind of funny is like if I was choosing a location, some of the POIs that people are choosing, it's not like I would necessarily go in that direction. I don't know. It just
Right.
seems interesting, some of the choices.
It's crazy how heavy bottom left is, or
Yeah.
all left side of the map
I was gonna say,
comparatively.
bro, even like where like I think you guys talked about it one time where
Like Dongi, look at them, bro. They're literally in between 5 teams, bro.
that's the
2.
best.
But the thing with Donkey, they recently started to change their landing spots. So now they land on Fire Station across the water.
Yeah. Across the
by-
bridge.
Yeah, on
So
the bridge.
let's go one by one and let's see. You know,
Yeah, let's do it.
so number 2, Dongi and them, they no longer land. We had them at downtown. So JD, if you want to, as we're doing this, we'll adjust. Obviously in the recent scrims. Again, this whole thing could change by Wednesday, right? Teams are still trying shit out, but Dongi Gary's coming. They now land up towards like
23rd by 23rd. I think
23.
they can test them.
by
they
there
land
now.
near to
Who's
like the
23rd?
fire station that's in downtown as well. They like either go across or they'll land like on the close side, just depending on what zone. But yeah, they haven't been challenging top high res for some reason.
Stuo said they will challenge us. I can't get tricked. Hey, maybe on land we see them chat each other off rip. That'd be nuts.
That is something I do see happening as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Last second. Land on 'em.
That drop spot is like way too good. I mean, top high res is insane.
Top high is way too good.
It's a nasty fucking spot.
You don't want to just give
There's
that
a
up
lot
for free.
of loot and a lot of,
You
easy to
guaranteed-
rotate out of.
A lot of orange crates up.
Yeah, guaranteed a fucking portable.
Now
portable
Evan,
buy.
Evan is number 3. He does land
He does
down
land
low near
Top
cargo,
hydro.
so
Yeah.
that's accurate. Levi, Limax, Zeppo. I'm be honest, they haven't played in any scrims recently. I don't even know where they land. Where
They
do you
land
have
We
them
got
land?
top side melee.
The
Top
top,
side melee.
right, they have them top.
they haven't changed their landing spot
Beige
ever
black?
since they landed there. So
Okay.
always
Okay.
landed in mid.
Aiden Smitty DJ, that is number 5.
Superstore.
Superstore. Now,
That's
again, I don't know
Bro.
what. It seems like 32. FIFA
cool.
and them.
Would be
They don't
shifting
go
over
there.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
What?
stopped going there starting this week of scrims.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think
but
Lennon and them have gone super in a minute.
Yeah. It's been a while. So,
Yeah, we had like a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I'm going super, I'm going super."
and then it
It-
turns up
it's
one team
literally-
going super.
Now it's only Aiden,
Aiden,
and bro.
yeah.
So that's what I was gonna bring to you guys, like in Vortex and Panda, right? Because it was like you said, like it comes down to like ego fights and everything, and
Right.
then it should be Aiden versus Panda. Panda would always come out on top. We would see him top leaderboard playing absolutely lights out. Then so Aiden's like, okay, I'm gonna land somewhere else. So he's going superstore, and now he's in like the top 3.
Now they have literally that, like,
I
nobody's
will
challenging
say
them on.
that to add to that point of where like, hey, they contested it, so that part. But I think there's a couple elements where that'll even determine the rotations, right? So like for example, Aiden's team, if they do we rotate into 12, which is flanks, blast, Gabe, or do we rotate towards middle of the map, which will be what, Swag's team, do we
Swags or
rotate-
Gabe's.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those
Yeah.
things where where are we going to actually rotate to? And
The-
depending on It could be because of friendships where they're like, I respect them. I'm going to leave them alone. We're going to rotate this way. We run into each other, whatever. But I'm not going to make or like the lack of respect for their competitor of how good they are, and like, oh, we can, they're free, so we'll just run through that way. So that'll determine the way the teams rotate as well.
Yeah, I think it depends on the where the zone is pulling. If it's pulling top side of the map, they rotate towards Millie and then rotate towards Pop Off. If it's gonna pull down, they rotate towards Old Town, which is gonna go against Gabe and them, and eventually start rotating towards the bottom side where to downtown if it's pulling there. That's usually what their rotation is. You usually never see them. There's times where they do pull towards Old Town. They go to Old Town, but usually it's always contesting Gabe or Destroy.
So, I mean, going back to the point, like, say for example, Panda's like, man, screw this shit. Like, you could have Vortex. They go over to
Dude, they
Panda.
should go like down fucking. Look at all that free POI downtown.
I see that.
Well, here's another thing that downtown, the POI, Fuzzin lands at the very bottom of construction. That's where they land.
Number 20, yeah.
Yeah, so they land at the very bottom of the map of construction, and they usually take the fights with FLS or they rotate towards Extra J.
So you're saying the 20 should be a little bit more to the right, towards the middle?
Towards the middle, but where the construction's at.
Yeah.
Down, down more.
Down and right.
Okay.
So, who's the next team?
Depends on them. So yeah, let's keep it going because we got a lot to go through.
Yep.
Swag, Adrian Sage, we know they land right, literally center of the map. What are they, 7? Where is that? Wait.
Yeah, number 6 right there.
Number 6.
Middle.
Oh, 6?
6 is right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Really
They
good.
don't normally get contested off rip.
No.
7, Destroy Nate Dogg Raul. They go low town. They're number 7 on there. Number 8, Huskers, Jackal, and Brawlic. They are top of the map, top left, and Resort, which a couple teams land there as well, which we'll go over. Joel, Bredman, and Jace, they're number 9. So did they change anything up? Or are they here now permanently?
Where are they?
9.
They're
They're
like
9?
Hydro
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the
Bottom
far
left.
left.
here
Okay, yeah, they were landing there this morning or today,
versus FIFA.
but they either land there or they land on top of the hill where the loot caches are. So they grab the loot cache and then loot the building and then play for the bunker. And they usually contest Evan and them.
The
If
Blue
not,
House.
they have a second drop which is rotating where they contest FIFA and them. Whereas in Team Fnatic's old landing spot, that's where I seen them land, where they land on top of the bridge on the loot cache, and then they rotate down to the bottom of the loot cache, get that one, and then they rotate on top of the.
Yeah, boy,
They
has
get
their
their
whole
loading.
fucking
They-
shit
no,
map,
it's-
bro.
They get
Side
the
note,
coach.
though, some of
They-
these spots are related to the buy station locations as well,
Yeah,
correct?
so that's what they do. So they get the loot cache from the top of the mountain, rotate down, and then go to the buy that's on the bridge. That's wide open. They buy a zip, take a zip to Team Fnatic's old landing spot, that's where FIFA's at.
Yeah. That's really good, man. They got 3 landing
Yeah,
spots.
bro.
So there's 3 different landing spots they could take. I
They always-
pretty
yeah.
much just fucking put the fucking hose.
And
The
then
whole thing
whatever-
out. That's on me.
Imagine.
All right. So then we got Braxton, Juju, Youngsters. They have not changed their spot once. They're number 10. They're I forgot what that's called.
Yeah. What do you call it? Compound? I think Shifty was
Compound.
calling
I
it
don't know
compound.
what you call it.
Like it shows like the heli and everything. Yeah.
But they have not left there since the day the game came out.
Yeah.
Strixie, Tap, Johnny Bro, where do they land? 11. That is
Very interesting to see where they actually do. Okay. Bottom, left
bottom.
side.
Bottom at that little building by
Ooh.
the train tracks.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Then Gabe, Flank Blast, they love top. Where are they at?
Top right.
12.
Military.
Yeah, military. They land military. Every once in a while, side note, Donkey and them land up there every once in a while. Then Mario, Laundered Clown, they're number 13. They are in the right side of military. If you see that, we have Slide, B-Mark, J-Tech, number 14. Where are they at?
Top left.
Top left, far top left. Okay.
There's times where they do get contested by Enkyo and them. Enkyo.
Yeah, sometimes Enkyo lands there.
But Enkyo only lands there if it's pulling top left of the map, pop off or top left. That's the only time they land there. Same goes with Millie. If it's going Millie, they land with number 4. Contest that team.
Okay. So then we have Baba Future. TJ, where's 15?
15. Looking for it.
15.
They
Baba
are...
should be.
Oh, it's right in the middle, above Swags.
Oh,
Third. Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's true. I
So
see
like kind of the big palace building.
Yeah, the palace building.
Palace building. Right.
I mean, they're going to be contested by Breadman and them too.
They go there every once in a while?
Well, that's where Bread goes and loots the cash stuff.
Oh, okay. So that's 15. E700, 16. Where are they at? Bottom of downtown.
27. Under
Near
27.
Cool, Waldo Colony, 17.
Top left.
Top left of the map, far top left.
Yeah.
top
So
left,
fight
yeah.
B-Mark.
Be marking them. Then we have Vision, AJ, Showstopper. That is number 18. Was it this one that they said that we had off? No. They're
18, they're top left.
Top left.
Okay, those guys are all over the place, I'll be honest.
Vision and them?
King AJ.
Because at first they were trying to get Superstore, but apparently they nerfed Superstore, so they stopped going there. And then they
How'd
do
they
go
nerf it?
top left. Just less loot.
Oh, okay.
And then we did see them contest the yellow buildings today as well on the far left. We saw them once, but that could have been because they rotated early from top 8, from where they're at, from the top left.
Okay. And then Louis Wars Bubble, 19.
Top right.
Top right.
I
Okay.
see that. Yeah. Wow.
And then Almond Ziz Hamoud, 20. Sorry.
Where's 20?
They are bottom of downtown. Bottom of downtown. We're gonna have this with us on
nice.
Okay, nice.
pretty like a laminated sheet, JD.
Also,
Well,
another
that's
thing.
one team we haven't really talked about, but Wars. I feel like on LAN, he's just gonna. It's just gonna
He'll
be
line
weird.
him up.
where
He
They
shows up.
normally
does-
do good. He always does good when
Yep.
he on land, but they haven't
when
been
it
doing good
matters.
during
Matters.
scripts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just kind of weird.
Yeah, I normally it's not normally like
It's
that.
like
but
he has a chip on his shoulder where he's like, "Oh, everyone always talking about FIFA, you know, or whoever, you know, the big EU
like,
guys."
I'm a
It's like
shoulder here.
Wars is like silent, you know, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, I showed up on LAN, didn't I? Like
he
I don't
always
know.
does show up. He always does show up, man.
We also,
Um,
so going back to Almond's team, they have been trying the old Fnatic drop with Almond, but they're getting contested now with Redman
Redman.
and FIFA. So I don't know if they're gonna keep going there or they're just gonna keep staying with the same POI they have right now.
I feel like they would, bro. I'm be honest, because like we saw Zins and Hamoud, bro. Like they did really good in like over there in Saudi. Obviously, right now they're playing on 200 ping, and then Almond.
they're good players.
They were gonna land
They
there,
are
bro.
good players.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Hamoud and them are good.
And plus they're all gonna be on land, so I wouldn't doubt it to see them land there. But the biggest thing with that POI right there, that fire station, is you have Aiden not being contested. You get a free loadie. You get a zip and you just
Super.
just fly over there. We saw it once happen today in this tournament where they just took zip and flew over there, a third party, and there was 4 teams there just fighting. So that could possibly happen.
True. Oh man.
So I mean, we let's go through this quickly, but then I really want to
Well,
talk
for DJ?
about my main thing. I want to talk about is the big fights that we're gonna see coming from this, right? Because like obviously they can put it together and they can see it. So Eads, Enkyo, Grom, 21. They switched up their land a little bit. They land bottom right of the map. Prodigy, Oki, Echo, 22. They are where are they? They're like downtown, right?
22 is
Yeah, they're
on the left
on the left side
bottom,
of
above
By
27,
stadium?
below 24.
Yeah, kind of by stadium.
Yep,
23
a little bit
Begsy
south of
reload.
stadium.
23. I feel like so many EU teams land.
23 up
these
top
guys
of
land
24.
fire.
Yeah.
They land fire.
Let me see. Clavson, GUI, FLS, 24. That
there.
is
Top of 22 right there by 11. Bottom left.
bottom left.
Middle left.
Okay, I see that.
24?
Yeah. Yeah, 24. Then Melvin, Pentagon, Buzzing. So this one we for sure
Construction. Bottom.
down low to the right.
Yeah.
Right?
Construction.
Yeah,
Construction.
construction, and then we also have Wars there next to them, more to the left.
Ooh.
They land there.
Okay. ESN Nida, King Shok, 26, sorry. They are
26. And
This might be the one team we didn't know.
26 is right next to Unrational's team.
yeah. Okay.
the yellow
Oh,
buildings could be.
I'm
I
getting
actually don't know
any
much about
competitors
them.
are in here, and we did get this one wrong. Please let us know and we'll adjust. We got Stubo, Enxian Patska. We know they take top high rise. Saviochos, Freddy, Xanax, 28. That is
Right next
left
to
side.
23.
kind of by Joe and them.
Sure.
Then we have Boogs, Benzi, Stuk X, 31. Wait, no, what the? I just jumped. I meant Javi, Daga,
And Cams.
29.
29th.
That's probably like Palace.
About
bar.
40 right there in the
Yeah,
middle.
Left side. Middle.
29.
Okay. Then we have 30, Robstar, Vortex, Blade. We know where they go. Far right by Little Mexico. Boog, Benzi, Stuk X, 31. They are bottom of the map, downtown. Juke, East, FIFA, and Lennon. They've been kind of jumping a little bit. For they did go super. Now they're going fire. So they're probably going to fight, I would say, Adrian and them a lot during LAN. Or they could
Weren't they
rotate.
fighting
up.
Bridman on number 9?
Number 9.
Number 9,
Well,
Bridman?
Bread was going between fire and
yeah,
they
they
were
had
going with that.
two
Okay,
different
okay,
spots.
got you.
Some teams here are changing things up, right? Dak, Hollow, Eisen, 33. Where are they at?
And I think most teams will have backup drops too. Like,
Yeah.
They
oh,
will,
shit,
they will.
this just didn't work out the way I
100%.
planned.
Oh.
Because They kept
free.
it secret until LAN, you know.
It's a gas station.
They don't always land gas at pop-off, right? It's every once in a while. I do know they fight D in them a lot.
So what they do, I don't know if they're still doing it, but when I was watching, they usually land gas station, get their loot there, get Lodi, and then rotate towards Evan. That's usually what they do.
Okay.
Yeah, and then today that they were match point.
But during the time where FIFA was landing there, they would be the third party to the FIFA and Falcons fight, which will lead to them obviously getting sent to Gulag.
Okay.
Just because of third parties.
Okay.
And
all right.
they showed like whenever they were on match point, they push on over there to their side.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
want it. Yeah. They want to try to chalk them as fast as they can. So be on the lookout for that for World Series. They're probably going to fight them on match point. Rocket, Zakar Clapper, 34.
Or
That is
top left,
all the way top left. Jesus.
you know.
Top left. Volcom Resolve Panda, 35. They are at Little
Market,
Mexico.
yeah.
36 Neto Vita Extra J. 36. Where are they at? Down at what's that place called again?
Shannon.
There you go. Bottom right of the map. Then Dark Amir Castillo. They normally land downtown by Stadium Vibe. Where are they at? 37.
But the
They're right
gas
there.
station.
Yeah, 37. There you
Gas
go.
station, yeah.
Yeah, they're
37.
just right of the
They
stadium.
haven't moved.
Padrino.
They haven't moved from that spot since the day of customs.
They
Yeah,
won.
They love this.
Day
spot.
one.
Padrin Vitin Reaper. It's not Padrin anymore. It's Viera Vitin Reaper.
Okay.
Bottom middle.
38. That
Yeah.
is where's that at?
Bottom middle.
Bottom
Like,
middle.
like
I see that downtown.
Which was
Yeah.
another team that was trying to contest Patsuka and Dongi them, but I guess they ended up. They might still contest them on land. You never know, but
Never know. Erixin Tabacudo Nano 39.
They told me they were gonna go mid. Erickson. told me.
39th.
So
Where-
they might change things
where-
up.
where's
Again, we
39?
don't know. These are not going to be like dead set. This is just where they've been landing. They could
Okay.
change shit up this week or even next week. And
39.
then XMQ, Hazi, and Tix. I don't think this team they've even seen them scrim once, so I don't think they're on here. Oh, they're 40. They're down low.
Down the
So
middle.
that team
Sorry,
said
middle, sorry.
that's another team that said that they were going to land on default, so pop off. Default pop off, which is the
Default
default of
pop-off.
what SSD lands, which is on the close right of pop off, where what the side of D that D loots.
I would be very surprised if they did that.
Yes,
They have
did
very
it-
minimal practice, and if they landed on SSD, they're just dumb, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be honest, they're just dumb.
I
That just sounded so funny.
So I don't know if they're going to. We'll find out. I don't think they've played in really many scrims, so we'll see this next week how everything turns out. And that's kind of it, man. I mean, that's kind of the drops for now. I think there's some interesting fights that we're gonna obviously get to see to play out. Big ones are, I do think that Gary's coming Dongi, Duchao,
Top high race.
yeah, Tabares, Duo, Batuka, Enxian, or Noobs. I do think that does go down. Obviously, Panda versus Blades team. Don't know how that's gonna go down. If they're actually gonna, keep it going. What are some other good ones, boys? Maybe head to heads.
for what again? Say that again.
Maybe 8. Just in general, two matchup teams.
Okay.
I think we'll see a lot of FIFA versus Bredman.
Yeah.
That those teams will probably go at it.
We are going to see a lot of Aiden versus Gabe, possibly Destroy. We have probably Enkyo versus Showstar on top left with B Mark if the zone is going pulling up. Enkyo versus Extra J or Dizzy's team, bottom right. Possibly going to be in the third party to Panda's team, to either Showstar or either to Panda or Robstar being contested. Whoever wins the fight on the far right. That's usually who they rotate to. We probably have like maybe destroying them, probably rotating to Enkyo, maybe.
Right.
So
So I mean, I don't know.
bottom left region is going to be pretty crazy in general.
I mean, bro. Obviously, this is not from me, but a lot of what people say or what people say is like bottom left. If you're downtown, you have the freest fights because, again, I'm not me. This is what's been said in the group chats. Is that bottom left teams have easy fights. They have easy kills. The lesser teams are landing downtown. So like Stu and them will probably have a lot of kills. And if Dongi and them choose to rotate to it, that they're probably gonna get free points as well. Again, I don't know what we're gonna see here, but this is kind of just a map, and I think there's a lot to kind of dissect. Again, this is not set in stone.
That is true.
This is not.
Damn, there's some beef in the chat. Stuo and Lennon going at it. Oh
What
shit!
happened?
Oh
What
shit!
What
So
I
where'd
missed?
you plays, homie?
Stuwo said, I got contested on every LAN so far, by the way, and won all my fights. And Lennon said, not all fights at Stuwo. We would fight you and trade at EWC. And Stuwo said, well, where did you place?
Damn.
Damn.
Oh, I say they just land on each other top high rise. I think that's the plan.
Nah, fuck it.
No, man, but
Fuck it.
I mean, all that to say, man, is that this is going to be an incredible week ahead of us.
Without a
We
doubt.
have World Series of Warzone coming this Saturday and Sunday, and there's a lot of stuff to discuss. This is not our final podcast, by the way. We have one Wednesday going over tier lists of teams, and then just, I guess, our final thoughts on everything before we all take off. And yeah, man, I mean,
Plus the prize update that changes the meta on Wednesday. No, I'm just playing.
dude, I swear.
zones, new metas.
Oh my
They think it
God.
was a meta changes all year, but then they're gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you guys.
Mid
Fucking
flight.
meteor. They're gonna destroy construction downtown or some stupid shit.
STG is gonna be vaulted. No, just playing. Imagine.
I pray that there's no big changes on Wednesday, man. That would be
The
literally
DMR is
insane.
back.
That would be literally insane, boys. But
That'd be
boys,
crazy.
any kind of final thoughts, man, to get us ready? We showed them the drop map. We showed the schedule. We showed everything going down. I'm fucking excited. We've been waiting for this for so long. Any thoughts, boys? Any thoughts?
I would say for me, like that, a lot of teams are just gonna have like that plan B. You know, they're always gonna have a plan B wherever you drop and everything. And then like 50 says, like majority of the time, the way they row, sometimes they don't even fight like all the teams. You know, so I'm very interested on like whenever there's different teams going different places, they run into each other. For example, that they hate fighting FLS. Like FLS, like they always annoying.
They're good.
They're always
They're
gonna like, so with the different people landing in different POIs, and everybody's gonna have different play styles, you know. So like
Yeah.
we're gonna see like which one's gonna come out. That's just me.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, hey, again, I today at the start of the tournament, the last 6 months didn't fucking matter. What matters is how you're playing right now.
Yeah.
How you're playing right now, how you're playing during this time is what really matters. I think great position for DJ and them to be in, Aiden and them. They're playing really good as of recently. But again, it matters if you show up Saturday, if you show up Sunday, that's what's really going to matter. And I think the teams that are most prepared for that, teams that watch VODs, the teams that played scrims, in my opinion, those are the ones that are going to play the best. I think VOD reviewing is going to play a huge factor in that. And if they haven't, get on it now. But yeah, that's kind of my final thoughts, bro.
I mean, bro, I feel like a lot of teams need like a boot camp or something, bro. It's like they gotta train them for example, for the people who haven't first time being in line. How are you prepared to like be like the nerves and play in front of a crowd? If things don't go out the way that you planned it to, like how are you able to shake it off? You know, like some people like especially for me, like, or just in mental in general, you'd be like, oh, fucking frustrated.
yeah,
And
there's
you
nothing,
just
there's nothing that can replicate that though. Even
that's what I'm saying.
you
Like,
just
I
got to
don't
show
know.
up. That more experience being on LAN, man. You know.
Luckily, it's 2 days, so it's not like somebody just wakes up and then they get one kill the entire event. And
Yeah,
everyone remembers
That'd be
it.
crazy.
I will say
He's cheating.
I agree to that. Like, bro, like, hey, man. Regardless, bro, this week about to be the final conclusion, finally, to the whole year has been fucking insane. And obviously, I'm so ready. We've gotten a chance to see Omni Movement. We know what next year's gonna bring. Next year's World Series Warzone will be on Verdansk. Should be fucking crazy.
Back 150 players, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
I mean, I hope it's
That's
150. I'm praying it's 150 players, bro.
Gotta be. It's gotta be.
You know?
We back.
But
we back.
Ebatez, JGod, Krinkz, final thoughts.
I'm excited, man. I don't know. I have nothing else to say, man. It's gonna be a lit weekend, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm excited. I'm ready to see what teams, do decide to chalk each other off start and kind of, see if they back up or, the egos get to them.
True. Shit,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, we should probably honestly do like a before and after because we're going to Vegas, bro. Like that's
Shut
still
the fuck up. Shut the
Bro, what?
dude. Yo,
What you mean before and after?
JGod, talk to me, man. Final
Hey,
thoughts.
I'm
bro.
excited for it. I'm hoping to be surprised. I think that'd be kind of cool. We didn't even talk about the other topic yet, though, right? Did
Yeah, I
we?
was thinking about it. Would that go in with this?
Probably not.
That's what
because
I was thinking
like
about.
A Wednesday or Thursday deal,
Yes,
right?
that's.
Yeah,
I think
we'll
even
do that one for that one.
even
But
when we
regardless
return.
of that, what I will say is, I feel like it'll be like good for somebody to show up and surprise. I think that's the best possible thing that could happen. Even though them just slaughtering the competition is still pretty nice. if that's what ends up happening, because it shows that the year was consistent, that LAN, they were able to do what they did online, which is pretty important for a lot of people. They make a big deal about LAN versus online. I think that's a huge, even though they've already stamped themselves last year or whatever,
Right.
I think it's just another, these guys are the best, type thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I think meet and greet would be cool.
Yeah.
I think podcast there will be cool. Or watch party stuff will be cool. It's in Vegas. It's in NA. Hopefully the crowd's solid. I mean, it was crazy last year. Us like walking around the venue.
Yeah.
This is going to be different too.
This year
so,
might be
I'm looking
fucking
forward to it.
insane. This year might be fucking insane.
Do we know how many people are attending?
We don't know. I don't know if they've released yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine 5,000 to 6,000.
I would hope it's a good amount. I pray.
Yeah.
Krinkz, final thoughts, man.
Not necessarily.
Horny.
Just horny for this, This World Series goes on. But if someone needs a IGO last pickup, I'm there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yo, we will have a couch full of subs if something happens. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I'm retired. I'm not playing. Unless Shifty and Soka need one, I'm gonna be chilling with a mimosa.
I love that, man. Well, guys, thank you guys for tuning into the podcast, man. It's been a great day. It's been an amazing year so far, and the epic conclusion starts Saturday. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you guys on the next one, baby. Peace.